Hello everyone, this is presentation for Scalable Software Engineering. We want to introduce you how smartphones affected software engineering. We think it's important because smartphones brings a lot of new things into the software engineering. For example, new requirements for software. This can be user interface design for mobile devices, new development tools such as React Native, new programming languages, for example, Kotlin, and of course also new issues. One of the biggest issues can be cost of development.
One of the areas that smartphones affect software engineering is in code development. Um, and one of the subtopics of that is building across platforms. Um, as you know, not all smartphones run on the same operating system. You have iOS, Android, some smaller ones like Windows Phone, which I'm not sure is still about. Um, but the creator of these platforms, they release platform specific frameworks and software development kits that allow you to develop apps for that platform. And as a result, there is a disparity that comes about when developing apps because each of these platforms requires specific knowledge and specific skill sets in order to use them. Um, And so developers and companies that are looking to release apps maybe have to make a decision on what platforms they want to release on because it needs more budget and more workforce in order to develop across all platforms. And so you might find an app that is on the App Store for iOS, but it's not on Play Store because maybe they took the decision not to do that because of budget or what have you. And also these platforms created jobs such as platform specific engineers who specialize just in developing for that platform, um, which is really interesting to see. And as a continuation from that, we have smartphones and the web. So web development um, is another method for reaching smartphone users. Um, Without having to develop a dedicated app that will go across multiple platforms. And it is, compared to an app, relatively low cost um, to be able to provide your services to portable devices. But there is a caveat to that, which is that if you have already got a website, um, or if you're building a website for desktop or what have you, you now have a little bit more work to do because you have to make sure it is available and usable on smartphones and portable devices, as that is now expected from websites. And to continue even more from that specific point is that due to the majority of web users being mobile users now, um, it's becoming more and more common practice to design for mobile first um, and create UIs specifically for smartphones, which then are adapted for desktop instead of the other way around.
Cross-platform development points to the process of creating an app that works on several platforms. This is done by using tools like React Native, Ionic, or Flutter, where the apps created can be deployed on both Android and iOS. Cross-platform development looks to solve problems with cost and time. Unfortunately, with this type of development, there is a risk of sacrificing quality. The biggest disadvantages are low performance, limited access to device functionalities, and limited UX. Therefore, it can't deliver the same UX experience that is accustomed to the platform. Despite these advantages, cross-platform development is favored to choose for a lot of startups. For startups, the key factor is that cross-platform offers low cost of the development and also saves time. There are many frameworks for developing cross-platform apps. The most known tools are Flutter, Ionic, and React Native. Interesting thing about React Native is that it was created at a hackathon. Facebook had a problem because using HTML5 for Facebook's mobile version resulted in an unstable application that retrieved data slowly. In 2012, founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, commented that betting too much on HTML was their biggest mistake as a company and promised Facebook would soon deliver a better mobile experience. Inside Facebook, Jordan Walk found a way to generate UI elements for iOS from a background JavaScript read. This became the basis for the React Web framework. Facebook decided to start an internal hackathon to improve this prototype in order to be able to build native apps with this technology. After a few months, Facebook released the first version for the React JavaScript configuration in 2015. With mobile app development are also connected new programming languages. We want to introduce you Kotlin and Dart. Kotlin is a cross-platform programming language designed and developed by JetBrains. It is designed to interoperate fully with Java, and the JVM version of Kotlin's standard library depends on the Java class library. Kotlin mainly targets the JVM, but also complies to JavaScript or native code. On 7th May 2019, Google announced that the Kotlin programming language is now its preferred language for Android app developers. Now Dart. Dart is a cross-platform programming language for client development designed by Lars Beck and Casper Lund and developed by Google. It is very useful for mobile apps and also for web apps. It is an object-oriented, class-based, garbage-collected language with C-style syntax. Dart can compile to either native code or JavaScript. It supports interfaces, mixins, abstract classes, refit, generics, and type inference. First version of Dart was released on November 14, 2013.